Welcome to Cornerstone Wellness Conversations. I'm your host, Rachael Espaillat, and I have my co host here with me, Dr. James Greenfield, as we explore pressing health issues in rural communities while also offering practical insights and solutions to help bring awareness to these issues. Thank you all so much for joining us. And Dr. James Greenfield, we've had a conversation about your skin, how to protect it
Yes,
in the sun. But now we're going to focus on something else to protect, right?
correct. We missed one big piece. Oh, we missed it. I think we just ran out of time. There's out of the two of us, one of us can get a little windy sometimes. I don't know who that is, but I'm thinking that that had something to do with it. But I wanted to make sure that we get this tag on, which is important. Let's talk about eyeballs. Little things that people don't realize is our eyeballs are very sensitive to the light, especially our lenses. And one of the things that is a big problem with causing our lenses to get cloudy as we get older, called cataracts, is sunlight. And particularly, do you remember from our skin speech what causes the damage to skin?
UVA.
There you go. You
Mhm.
got them. Okay. So you have the UV light, because remember, your lens is still a type of a skin. It comes from basically the same type of original cells. So when that sun hits that, if that has no protection, that's getting sunburnt and fried just like your skin. It's no different. And so we forget about that. We run outside. There's how many times do you go to the beach and you see people all lathered up? They have no sunglasses on. They run around the water. Think about this. You're in the water. You have UV light shining at you. Your head's sticking up out of the water. And now you have UV light shining at you, and it's bouncing off the water into your eyeballs too.
I didn't even
Wow.
think about that. The reflections, yeah.
Yeah. So you're nailing your eyes. It's really bad. So I even when I go to the beach now that I've learned these things, I wish I did it when I was younger,
Yeah.
but now that I know these things, I'll wear sunglasses in the ocean or if
Oh,
I'm in a
okay.
pool. I'll do it. And you know what? What happens if they fall off and get wet? Oh no, they got wet. I guess I picked them up and put them back on. What's the big deal?
Right.
Right? It's
Yeah.
not a big deal. It really isn't. So
Yeah.
that's something to think about. So anyways, what kind of sunglasses should you have to protect your lenses, to protect your retinas, to protect those things? What type should you have? Do you know this thing?
Okay.
Now,
If I
it is cheating because
remember,
we do talk offline sometimes, so you might have some
I was gonna
information.
say, if I remember what you said before we started recording, it's the non-pixelated glasses.
Well, okay, it's
No.
the ones that protect. You're gonna, because we didn't get into it too much, that protect you from UV rays. Okay, because here's the thing: when you go to the store, no matter what store you go to, what happens when you go there? You walk in, you see, hey, I got these polarized sunglasses, and let's go get the Oakleys. Oh, what is it, $100 and something? Oh, no, no, no. Here we have these on that little spinny thing with a little mirror on it, so you can look and see how beautiful you are, right? And you get that little, and you look at this and you say, wait a second, these are only $12.95
Mhm.
and they're polarized. That's amazing. And you put them on, everything dims down. That's great, isn't it? Yeah, but a lot of them don't have UV protection. You know what polarized does?
No idea, to be honest with you.
Okay. What polarized does, it screens out a certain angle of light. So either the horizontal, oh, that was horizontal. Look at that. I'm
Yeah.
forgetting horizontal, vertical, usually one of those two areas, it actually filters out that light. So if
Mm.
you were to take two, and I did this as a kid, and I'm sure you may have done this too, sunglasses that are both polarized, and you put them at 90 degrees to each other, what happens? Black.
Right.
No light goes through them because you have now both directions of light being blocked. So that helps with glare. So that glare off the water. So all that glare and brightness seems to be better. Like, oh, thank goodness my eyes are protected.
Mhm.
But that's a fake out because all that is protecting the glare. You have to protect what? UV radiation.
I was just gonna
That's what
say
you have
that.
to protect. And
Yeah.
so you have to get glasses that are going to say UV 400 wavelength. You want to UV 400, or you want UV 95 to 100% block. Either one of those two things. Okay. And that's important because then your cataract and your retina will not be damaged by the UV radiation. Okay.
Okay.
And that's a very important thing.
Oh,
So
I was going to say this is such an interesting topic for me because, obviously my photojournalism background, I think about how your camera kind of operates. It's designed to be like your eye.
yeah.
So think about when you point a camera directly at the sun and like it goes dark, you can't see anything. Your eyes kind of filter what can come in as far as light.
Mhm.
So yeah, just protecting it at that sense makes perfect sense to me.
Yep. Exactly. And your cameras, they have polarized lenses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, to perfect the glare. Now the camera doesn't have to worry so much about UV radiation, but I bet you a camera lens over a long enough period of time of UV exposure probably gets a little hazy. You got to buy a new lens.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the reason why you got to buy a new lens because of
Mhm.
UV radiation. Now, one thing that people don't think about either, they also get dark sunglasses, right?
Mhm.
You know that song. I don't know, is it playing someplace? I can't hear it. I wear my sunglasses at night, though. You know that
Yes,
song.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
playing in
Anyway,
my head, but I know what you're talking about. Yes,
yeah,
yeah, now it is playing.
yep. And there's also a ZZ Top song about dark sunglasses too.
Okay.
Okay. So
Mhm.
anyway, we all talk about these cool dark sunglasses we got on. What does that do for you?
I'm assuming not nothing.
It makes it worse.
It makes it worse because
Hello. Okay,
because it's
so we
dark,
have
so it's attracting it's right?
no. Think
No.
about it. You'll get this. It's nice and easy. You have a polarized set of sunglasses on
Mhm.
that are not protecting UV that
Mhm.
are dark. So the UV radiation is pouring in. That hasn't stopped.
Right.
And now that the glasses are dark, what does your pupil do and your iris do?
Dilating.
It dilates, so it lets even more in. And
Mm.
you get damaged more and even faster.
Oh, that's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why we
So
only wear them at night.
there you go. That makes sense, doesn't it? So
Hmm.
maybe there's some truth to this. So they were trying to teach us this a long time ago through rock and roll, but we weren't even listening. How amazing were the old rock and roll gods from Gen X? What can I say? We
Yeah.
we 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 knew things. But you can use dark sunglasses if they have what? UV protection.
Hmm.
Then we're cool. Then nothing's going to happen. You're going to be protected. But if you don't have that UV on there, and the UV sunglasses probably aren't going to be the 12.95 spinny thing in the store. They might be on there, but they're going to be on the section you see 30 something. What? Oh, I'm getting the $12 ones. What the heck? Okay. So make sure when you get those sunglasses, polarized is nice because it stops the glare. So you're not squinting. I like that. But more importantly, that UV protection has to be there.
Yeah. So it's always going to tell you if there is UV protection on there.
Correct. It will tell
Okay.
that because for those of us who understand what's happening with this, that's a better product. And they're doing more to the glass. I mean, it's polarized and it screens out UV. What do you think about transitional lenses? You know those transitional lenses, they
The
dark
ones
when you
that
go
go from,
outside and things like
yeah.
that. Yep. Hmm.
I'm gonna assume they're not UV protected or it's not strong enough protection.
Some of them may have UV protection, but you have to make sure of it. Most of them do not. And then if you have prescription glasses, they usually have UV protection, but you got to ask because they might not.
Yeah, or
It,
I'm sure it's also an additional charge.
I'm sure it is. And you know what? It's worth having that additional charge.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Now that we're talking about glasses and things, I know this is unrelated, but there's also the blue light glasses.
Yes, you have the blue light and you have the, okay, so that's another thing. Colors. Do colors make a difference?
Absolutely.
Of course they do.
Yeah. I know that from my
Guess what?
camera days.
There you go. Which ones are the worst colors to have?
I'm gonna say like red.
Red and
W-
oranges.
Warm colors? Yeah,
Yeah,
warm colors.
because you know what? They actually let more light in and you don't realize it. So you want the blue, the dark blues, the dark colors. They're better glasses. And of course, I didn't know that years ago. And I have an old pair of Oakleys that I still wear that have that orange reflection.
Yep, I've seen those.
Yep. But I know there's UV in it. So I'm kind of like, eh,
You can get away with
you
it
know?
sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. What else can we talk about?
You talked about the protection, kind of touched on the effects. Can we get into
Mhm.
more of that, like about the damage and cataracts, people needing
Okay.
cataract surgery,
So,
things like that?
okay. So about 20% of the cataracts that we have just straight out are caused by UV damage. So think about this. If when you were younger, if you started putting on sunglasses all the time when you went outside in the sunlight, even when it's cloudy, remember that?
Hmm.
So what you could do, you could get glasses for, I'm assuming, I'm not promising this, but this is my assumption. And
Yeah.
assumptions can do bad things. But I would assume you can get light colored glasses with UV protection for cloudy days. I would think they're there because remember, we learned with the sunscreen that even when it's cloudy, the UV rays are not blocked by the clouds.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're still getting them all. And so now it's darker. Your pupils are more dilated and you're going to get more UV in it. So you might even be getting more damage then. And we don't even think about these things. But we know 20% of the cataracts, minimum, there might be more, are straight from UV radiation. So that means if you were to protect your eyes starting at an early age, you got a 20% chance that when you're 80 some odd years old, you're not getting those slits and those cataracts removed with new lenses. You got a chance. You might not need to do that.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing is there are some cancers that the UV can cause in the back of the eye, in the retina and stuff like that. They're not as common, okay, but they do happen. It's always important to get your yearly eye exam by your physician, okay, and make sure that your retina has no damage from the years of UV and that your lenses are okay. Another thing that you can think about too is about 90% of our malignant cancers that occur around their eye, like the eyelids and stuff like that, are all caused by UV radiation also. So if you're wearing sunglasses, you're going to have a good protection against that stuff too.
Mhm.
Those are usually easy to take care of.
Yeah.
I mean, they're usually localized cancers, but still, who wants to get an eyelid chopped into or something like that if you don't want to? I just no. I wish I knew all these things when I was younger. I wish I had two great people teaching me these things when it mattered for me years ago.
Yeah.
Huh.
But, we create podcasts like this to help the younger generation, the future generations be protected. Okay,
Mhm.
so quick recap. Make sure your sunglasses say UV protection.
Yes,
If you wear,
100%.
right, if you wear daily prescriptions, also double check and make sure those have UV protection.
Yes,
Okay. Blue lights, or blue tints, right, for sunglasses are better than the orange and the red.
yes,
Okay. And with that being said, it's the summertime. Enjoy it. Just keep your eyes protected.
I agree.
Yes. Well, thank you all so much for joining us on this week's episode of Cornerstone Wellness Conversations. We will all see you guys next week.
Take care.